Have you ever met a stranger and, in just a few moments, felt a deep sense of calm? It's a strange and powerful feeling of knowing them, as if you're not meeting for the first time, but just seeing an old friend again. The feeling doesn't seem to make sense, but it's a quiet knowing that settles deep inside you. When you're with them, the normal stress of daily life just seems to fade away. The silence between you isn't awkward. It's peaceful and full of understanding without words. Many people say they've had this powerful, personal experience, and it feels very real. While your mind might not know what to call it, the feeling itself is like a whisper from deep inside you that seems to say, "Oh, there you are. I remember you." If you've ever felt this, you're not alone, and you're not just imagining it. It's not just a fantasy or wishful thinking. This feeling is completely different from a crush or the excitement of making a new friend. For many, it's a sense of coming home to a place you didn't even know you were missing. People have tried to explain this deep feeling of recognition for centuries. Some spiritual beliefs suggest it's a connection that goes beyond this one life, meaning we're more than just who we are now. Today, we're going to explore this feeling. We'll look at what it is, the different ways, both spiritual and psychological, that try to explain it, and what its purpose might be in your life. This isn't just about finding a soulmate. It's about what happens when life sets up a meeting that helps you find yourself. Soul recognition, or what feels like it, is quiet. It's calm. It's known not for anxiety, but for the total lack of it. When you meet this person, your body seems to just relax. The social masks we all wear can start to come off. It's as if you've been acting your whole life, and then you meet someone who sees the real person behind the costume, so the mask doesn't feel needed anymore. You feel seen, maybe for the first time. You don't need to fill the silence with small talk. The quiet is a peaceful, shared space. This connection feels less like a desperate chase and more like calmly arriving. This experience is often compared to sound waves. Think of two tuning forks that are made for the exact same note. When you hit one, the other starts to vibrate too, even across the room without touching. It doesn't need to be told to sing, it just recognizes its own sound and joins in. This is a good way to think about a deep emotional connection that feels instant and natural. It's the feeling that a core part of you is speaking a language that this other person just gets without needing it explained. This sense of safety is one of the main signs of this connection. In a world that often makes us feel we have to be on guard, this connection gives you a rare feeling of acceptance. You might find yourself sharing things you've kept hidden for years, not because you're trying to get close, but because it feels natural. This isn't blind trust. It's a trust you just feel from a place deeper than your thoughts. It's a feeling of being understood at your core, a feeling that this person has seen the real you and isn't scared by it. This is why the connection often feels like remembering someone rather than learning about them. Getting to know someone is usually a building process, like laying bricks one by one to build a house. But this feeling is more like digging for treasure. It feels like you're uncovering a city that was already there, just waiting to be found. The talks don't feel like interviews. They feel like you're continuing conversations you started a long time ago. There's a strange sense of, "Oh, it's you," as if you're finding a lost piece of your own life story. This strange feeling of knowing them makes us question how relationships usually work, suggesting some connections are not built, but uncovered. So what is happening when we feel this? Why does a stranger sometimes feel like home? The explanations come from many places, like religion and science. It's helpful to look at these not as right or wrong answers, but as different ways of describing the same powerful human feeling. For centuries, many spiritual beliefs have said that we are more than just our bodies. In this view, the known you forever feeling is real. Some beliefs talk about soul groups, like a group of actors that travel through time. The main actors, the souls, stay the same, but in each new life, they take on different roles like mother, brother, friend, or enemy to help each other grow. According to these beliefs, when you meet someone from your soul group, your soul recognizes their soul, which creates that deep feeling of knowing them. This is often tied to soul contracts, the idea that before we are born, souls agree to meet at certain times to help each other learn lessons or wake up. In this view, the meeting isn't an accident. It's an appointment that was scheduled by a higher power. It's important to remember that these ideas are based on belief. They offer a beautiful way to find meaning, but they can't be proven by science. Psychology offers explanations based on how our minds work. The feeling can be explained by a mental pattern called a schema. Think of this as a safe person drawing your brain has made from good past relationships. When you meet someone who matches this drawing, maybe they have the same gentle voice as a grandparent you loved. Your brain sees the pattern and marks them as safe, like a security guard at a club who sees a special guest and lets them in. Another idea is transference, where your mind acts like a movie projector. It unconsciously plays an old movie, your feelings and wants from childhood, for example, onto the blank screen of this new person. In the same way, your attachment style, which is like your setting for how you connect with people that was set when you were young, might recognize someone who feels safe and familiar. The work of psychiatrist Carl Jung offers a bridge between the spiritual and the psychological worlds. He suggested there is a collective unconscious, imagining it as a deep, ancient ocean that connects all of us. While we are separate islands on the surface, under the water, we all share the same ocean floor, which is filled with common stories and characters we all know, called archetypes. A powerful, instant connection might be you seeing an archetype like the anima or animus. It's like you're carrying a puzzle piece you didn't know you had, and you meet someone who is the exact shape of that missing piece. You're drawn to them because they show you a lost or perfect part of yourself. Jung also created the term synchronicity for meaningful coincidences. Having a lot of these happen when you meet someone, like hearing the same song not many people know or seeing the same numbers over and over, can make the connection feel like destiny. A synchronicity is like the world pointing something out to you, showing you something important for your own journey of growth, or what he called individuation. Whether you believe in a spiritual or a psychological reason, most agree, these connections often feel like they have a reason. They can be powerful triggers that show up in our lives to wake us up, heal us, and push us forward. The feeling of coming home is often just the start of a deep and sometimes hard journey. One of the main purposes of these deep connections is to act as a mirror. This person is like a clear mirror for your soul. At first, you love what you see, but soon it starts showing you parts you don't want to see. A person you feel this connection with might be the one who triggers your biggest fears. The connection can feel so strong that you can't just walk away, which forces you to face the parts of yourself that need to be healed. They don't cause your pain. Their presence just turns on the lights in the basement of your mind, showing you the shadow self, the hidden parts of yourself, so you can finally deal with it. Another purpose of these connections is to wake you up to your true purpose. Meeting this person can feel like a key turning in a lock you didn't know was there. Suddenly, you may feel more creative and your passions might feel stronger. It's as if their presence reminds you of the person you were always meant to be. Sometimes, this shows up as a shared mission. You may find that together, you feel pushed to create something. This isn't about needing them to be complete, but with them, your own sense of being complete feels stronger and gets a new direction. From a spiritual view, Some hard connections are seen as chances for karmic healing. Think of karma not as punishment, but as a chance to pass a level in a video game you've been stuck on for a long time. A difficult relationship might be a repeat of an old problem, giving you a chance to finally win by making a different choice. However, it is very important to be careful with this idea. A spiritual belief should never be used as an excuse to stay in a bad or harmful situation. True healing brings freedom and wholeness for everyone, not more suffering. Your safety must always come first.
Finally, on a simpler level, a connection like this can give you a deep sense of validation. Life can feel confusing and lonely. In the middle of that, meeting someone who feels like a missing piece of your own soul can be a very comforting sign that you're on the right path. The peace you feel with them can become a new guide for your life. After feeling such a deep and real connection, shallow relationships may no longer seem interesting. This person doesn't just bring you connection, they bring you a deeper connection to your own gut feelings, teaching you what true connection feels like. This journey of recognition is very personal, and no two stories are the same. Hearing about someone else's experience can make you feel validated and understood, helping you feel less alone with a feeling that's often hard to explain. If this video meant something to you, think about sharing your story in the comments below. Tell us about the time you met someone and felt that instant sense of coming home. What did it feel like for you? What did that connection teach you? Your experience is part of a story that all humans share, and sharing it might be exactly what someone else needs to read to finally feel understood. The feeling of having known someone forever is one of the most mysterious things we can experience. It's a moment that stops us, makes us question how we see the world, and opens us up to the idea that we're all much more connected than we think. We've looked at this feeling as a kind of deep recognition, a calm knowing that is very different from the anxiety of a crush. We've looked at it through the spiritual idea of soul families and contracts, and the psychological ideas of schemas, projection, and Jungian archetypes. But no matter which explanation you choose, the main takeaway is the same. These connections often feel like they have a purpose. They can serve to wake us up. They might trigger our growth, show us our unhealed wounds, light up our life's purpose, or simply prove that we are part of a story bigger than ourselves. Some of these connections may last a lifetime. Others may be short, showing up only to give you a message before your paths split. How long the connection lasts doesn't always show how important it is. So, if you've had an experience like this, treasure it. See it as the gift that it is, a chance to go deeper. The final purpose of meeting someone you feel you recognize is not just to know them, but to finally and more completely come to know yourself. They might feel like the key, but the door they unlock often leads back into your own heart. The feeling is real, it is powerful, and it is a reminder that in this huge universe, we are, in the ways that matter most, always on our way back home to ourselves.